What's good, everyone? My name is Kalen, joined by my co-host, as always, Luke or Racewag, and this is the Huddle Break Podcast. How you doing today, Ray?
Yes, sir. What's going on, K4? We're doing good.
Good, I'm glad, man. Got a lot to talk about. It's been an insane week. We're gonna start the day off by talking with our Week 7 takeaways. Then we'll move into our predictions and ending the show with some fantasy locks. However, let's talk about real quick this trade deadline coming up. I think really the only big trade that's in works is Desean Watson. And it was announced this morning that he denied the Texans trade to the Panthers, so he's refusing to go there due with his no trade clause in his contract, and he only waived his no trade clause if it was to Miami. What are your thoughts on that, Ray?
It's interesting. I definitely think the Panthers aren't expected to pursue him. I think it's mutually agreed that both sides don't want to do it right now. I think for the Panthers, sort of how they are as an organization, they don't want to bring somebody in with that sort of cloud above their head. And I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Maybe they'll make a move for him in the offseason. But right now, I just don't think he'll. I don't think he'll go anywhere from what I've seen.
Yeah, it's weird. Roger Goodell actually was quoted that he said Deshaun's eligible to play. If he gets traded today, he'll be able to play tomorrow. Like, I don't know. It's kind of weird because I feel like a lot of NFL players have done a lot less and been suspended almost, instantly. There's like, I don't know. It's a very weird scenario, but I think if he ends up in Miami and he is able to play this season out, then that team could be really scary and they could easily make a wild card spot, especially in the AFC. But let's jump right into our first topic of takeaways. I'll start us off, and I'm just gonna. It's a I don't know if it's a hot take. It could be. I'm just gonna say it. I think the NFL is ran by the NFC. I think the top five teams in the NFL are all in the NFC. This is not in order, but we got the Cardinals are 7-0. The Rams are 6-1, Packers 6-1, Bucks 6-1, and Cowboys are 5-1. And I think all five of those teams are better than every single team in the AFC. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I don't know about every single team because I think the Bills are a top three team in the league, but I definitely think that the NFC is top heavy, or the league's top heavy for the NFC. The NFC is incredibly competitive. These wild card games are going to be insane. We're gonna have. I mean, think about this. We're going to have either the Rams or the Cardinals in the wild card,
Yeah.
which is going to be, I mean, crazy. Or I should say, they could both be in the wild card, but they'll be two. One of them will be a wild card team.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's going to be insane to see. A lot of good teams. Still a lot of up for debate, but the AFC's wide open. The NFC just sort of like, man, the teams are really getting good right now. And like I was about to say, is like around November time is usually when you can kind of tell who the legit teams are. And Thanksgiving, then you really can tell. But the teams start to separate, and you already have kind of that early with some teams are looking at like, oh, it's time to look ahead to the next season already, which is unfortunate, but it's how it goes in the NFL.
Yeah, and to comment on the Bills, man, I don't know about them. They lost to the Steelers and Titans. There's not one team in the AFC that has less than two losses, and there's five in the NFC that have that less than two
Yeah,
losses.
I'll just comment real quick about the Steelers thing. I mean, I think most people can say, like, I mean, the Steelers game was a fluke. That was just a fluke game. Like week one jitters, not jitters, just they weren't right. That was a fluke game. They've looked amazing. They looked great against the Titans, and they should have beaten the Titans if Josh Allen doesn't slip. And by the way, the Titans, they're not bad. They just crushed the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't
But the
think,
Titans did get blown out by the Cardinals in week 1. They lost like 38-13.
I mean,
It
yeah,
the
not saying
Cardinals obliterated them, and I
no for
know.
sure.
It's just the thing
I
about
mean,
it
the
is
Titans
like
lost to the Jets as well, but yeah.
yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm trying to like get at, It's like all these AFC teams, they're losing. Like the Rams, they lost to the Cardinals. The Packers, they had a lost to that Saints team, but the Saints team is 4-2 now. Then it's not like they're an awful team. The Bucks lost to the Rams. The Cowboys lost to the Bucks. Like they're losing to top teams. You have like the Bengals, a top team in the AFC, the number one seed in the AFC. They lost to the Packers and the Bears. And then you've got like the Ravens. They got blown up by the Ravens. They blew out the Chargers just now. But they got blown out by the Raiders. And I don't know. It's just
Right.
the AFC is really beating up on each other. And there's just no powerhouse. I feel like, it's easy to say the Bills could be a powerhouse because they're also beating up on really bad teams. And the Chiefs team is not who we thought they were, and their first real matchup was this Titans team, and they lost. So, um, I don't know. That was my takeaway from week 7. I think it's just an it's an NFC league now, which sucks for my Cowboys and your Panthers. But yeah, let's move into your takeaway from week 7. What did you have?
Yeah, really, my main takeaway here is just that there are some teams that we are not who they thought they were, right? I mean, you're talking about Chiefs. You mentioned the Chiefs.
Yeah.
They've not looked great. Mahomes has not looked great. Leads the NFL in interceptions. The defense is horrible. They certainly haven't been up to par. Talk about the Dolphins. I had them making the playoffs with the wild card team. I thought they were just a good overall team. They're 1-6. They can't seem to catch a break. I mean, for me, the Panthers. I thought the Panthers were going to be a lot better, and it sure looked like they were. And now we're looking horrible. Um, and
Yeah.
Washington football team, man. I mean, I don't know what happened to them. You talk about what people literally thought was going to be the best defense in the NFL,
Mm-hmm.
and statistically, they're the worst now. So I'm not sure
Are
what's
they worse
happening
than
to
the
some of these
Chiefs?
teams. I think they were 32nd last I checked, but I could be wrong.
Uh,
I think they flipped.
Regardless, they're both awful.
They're
But
both
you're
yeah, they're
right,
both
man.
horrendous.
It's crazy. People came into the season, and a lot of really, highly regarded NFL analysts were saying that the football team was going to take the NFC East. They were going to be a 12-win team, and the Cowboys were going to get second. And man, this team, I mean, I guess losing Ryan Fitzpatrick early on kind of hurt them, but I don't think that this is even an offensive problem. I think if Tyler Heineke had the defense that everyone thought they were, they would probably be a 4-5 win team right now. But this defense is just awful. Like, yeah, I don't know. And you're completely right about these disappointments, especially the Panthers. Like, they came out 3-0,
Right.
and as I said last week, I'm done. I said last week, if they lose this week, I'm done because of the Giants, and they just got completely dismantled. It was insane. I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it, and I'm sure you can't believe it. But yeah. Do you have anything else to say about your takeaway or no?
Yeah, that's pretty much it, man.
All right. Well, let's move into the final takeaway of this segment for me. I think the Bears. It's time to fire Matt Nagy. I mean, um, so I didn't watch that Bears game. I was just watching the play-by-play while I was watching. Who was the 325 game last week? That was really good. I can't remember, but regardless, um, I was watching other games, so I didn't really watch the Bears game, but it was a blowout, so there's nothing really to watch. And I was like, dang, like Justin Fields has 5 turnovers this game. I think he had 3 fumbles and 2 interceptions, and so being a not good NFL fan, I just tweeted like it's time to slander him. Like it's time to slander Justin Fields. But then when you go back and watch the game, like man, he had no time. Apparently, twice in the last 2 weeks, he was told through his headset that he had a free play because the defense had 12
Yeah,
players on
I
the
saw
field,
that.
and there was no flag, there wasn't like they were just wrong in his
Isn't
headset,
that crazy?
and last week's mistake this week, sorry, ended up in an interception, and it's just I don't know how that happens. I think Bears fans are tired of Matt Nagy. It appears that the players are literally giving up on this team. And I think that the Bears are one of the more talented rosters in the NFC North, and they're gonna end up being one of the worst teams in it. The third team in it if they keep up like this. I think it's time to get rid of Matt Nagy. I don't think he's a good coach. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, I definitely think it's time for a new regime there. I think not just Matt Nagy. I think Ryan Pace needs to go as well, the general manager.
Yeah,
Um, it's tough for Fields, but I don't know. I mean, he hasn't looked great, but the team's looked horrible in general. So it sucks because I mean, they're not that many players different from the playoff team that should have beat the Eagles and advanced to the divisional round a few years ago. So
yeah,
it sucks to kind of hear it. And now you get this news with Khalil Mack being on what injured reserve now, I believe.
yeah. Out at least 3 weeks.
Um, yeah. So I don't know. They might have to blow it up, unfortunately.
Yeah. Then I think it's time. Justin Fields, he didn't start till week 3, and he's the most sacked QB in the NFL. Like they're not protecting him. They aren't using him correctly. This team is like self-destructing, and it's definitely time to pull the plug on Matt Nagy. I think if they lose this game this week to the Niners, who have not looked great as of now, I think it's time to just pull the plug on him. They can't. They're about to be out of playoff contention pretty soon here. Um, but yeah, that should wrap up the takeaways. Let's hop right into our predictions. But before we get into them, let's talk about last week. Ray, you had a better week than me. You went 10-3.
Ooh.
Your total record is now 75-32.
All right.
I went 8-5. Total record is now 72-35. You have a 3-game lead. I was right about the Thursday night game, Browns over Denver, but I was wrong about the Falcons and Dolphins game, which came down to the wire. I was wrong about the Colts Niners and what else? Oh yeah. Wait, what else did we disagree on? I'm trying to remember. Oh, Chiefs Titans.
Yep.
So yeah, that sucked. You took a lead on me there, but I think this week seems pretty cut pretty straight, so I don't think we're gonna disagree on too much. We might.
And correct me if I'm wrong. You went 7-5, correct?
I thought I went 8-5, I believe.
And I went 11-3.
Was there? No, I think there was only 13 games.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out if I got 10 right and you got 8 right, how do we differ on 3?
Oh, because I got one right that you didn't. The Broncos Browns Thursday Night Football.
Gotcha. Okay, makes sense.
Oh, and last week you were 1 week ahead, so that's how we're 3 up. Or you're 3 up.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, let's move into this week's predictions. Like I was saying, I feel like it's a pretty straightforward week. We're gonna start off with Thursday Night Football. There's some Packers at Cardinals. Where do you think this game is going, Ray?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think the Packers had a chance. Now we got Alan Lazard won't play and Devontae Adams out with the COVID positive test. So I don't know. I mean, I hate to say it because this is still probably going to be an interesting game for a bit, but Cardinals look unstoppable right now, and the Packers definitely look good too. But without 2 of their top weapons, it's going to be tough. I don't know who Rodgers is supposed to throw to. I don't know, Robert Tonyan. I don't know. So I don't think I think the Packers might make this interesting, but they just don't have the weapons. You take Devontae Adams out, it's rough. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Cardinals win this one 31-23. I wish I could say more, but I don't think the Packers, will really be competitive too much.
Yeah. So Devontae Adams and Alan Lazard this season's combined for 67 catches, 930 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Every single other person that's caught a pass from Aaron Rodgers this season combines for 89 catches and 850 yards and 10 touchdowns. So they're
Yeah.
losing. They're gonna be fighting for it this week. They got Aaron Jones. They're gonna be leaning on Aaron Jones, and is MVS in? I can't remember. I don't think he's in. I think he's on IR.
Aaron Jones?
MVS.
Oh, MVS. Yeah.
I think he's on IR, but they might elevate him this week. I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm with you, man. I don't see it being close. I was hoping it would be. I was really excited for this game, and
Same. One of the better Thursday night games in a while. I was looking at that.
yeah, since week 1 probably.
Yeah, it still could be.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers. He'll always want to keep him in the game.
Right.
But spread right now is 6.5. I would probably take it if I didn't already bet on it. I have fallen insider who tweeted Monday that there's a possible COVID outbreak in Green Bay, and I instantly slammed a lot of money on the Cardinals to win this game by 3.5 and straight up. Devontae Adams out, Alan Lazard out. I think it should be a free win. Let's hope the football gods are in our favor. I mean, let's move on. Another good matchup, NFC South battle, Panthers at Falcons. Where's this game going, Ray?
Dude, this is one of the tough ones, man. I mean, at this point, I just want to say the Falcons are going to win or something. I don't know. Panthers just look horrible. But I'm going to have faith in the bounce back. I'm going to have faith that we'll at least be able to beat the freaking Falcons, who have looked good, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, also to be fair, they play the Jets and Dolphins. So, how good are really the Falcons? I mean, although Kyle Pitts does look legit, finally. But, I don't know. I'm going to say my Panthers win. Obviously, I'm biased, but I am going to bet on them. But then again, I've also bet on them the past 4 weeks, and they've lost each time.
Me too. Well, 3 weeks.
Oh, no. I bet on the last 4 weeks.
I know. I said me 3 weeks. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to go Panthers win this one close. Maybe we'll win on a last-second field goal. I'm going to say 24-21. We finally get some good momentum.
Well, last week I told you if they lose against the Giants, I will never take them again. And so for the rest of our predictions, every single week I will be picking the other team. I don't care. I don't care if I think the Panthers are going to win. I'm picking the Falcons. I'm picking whoever they are playing.
There
I'm
you
taking the
go.
Falcons this game. Uh Honestly, I think even if last week didn't happen, I'd probably take the Falcons. They've learned how to use Kyle Pitts. It took them a few weeks, but now he looks quite literally unstoppable. He looks like the prospect that you picked to be the rookie of the year. A little too late because Jamar Chase has probably ran away with that award at this point. You did pick him, right, for rookie of the year?
Dude,
Or-
honestly, I thought I picked Trevor Lawrence, but maybe not.
Oh, you might have. I'll have to look back. I thought you did, but maybe I'm thinking maybe we had someone on that episode that picked him. A guest.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I didn't pick Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, we'll have to go back and look because next week we're gonna update our rankings. But
Also, I just
yeah,
want to say Stephon Gilmore and Shaq Thompson will be playing for the Panthers. So,
yeah, yeah. That doesn't
okay,
matter. I'll never pick
maybe
them again.
instead of 25-3, we'll lose 6-3.
Oh, you, Jesus, man. I just like, and that's the thing, man. It was the Giants' defense. They've been giving up 30 to every team,
Right? No, yeah, for
and you
sure.
guys, you guys couldn't didn't score a touchdown the whole game. I mean, I, I wasn't, I didn't watch most of the game. I watched the red zone. So when a team was in the red zone, I was watching, but the Panthers weren't in the red zone. So, um, yeah, I don't know, man. I feel bad for you. Uh, they just got completely dismantled last week. But yeah, I'm going Falcons this week 24-14. I just don't have faith in Sam Darnold and this team to score. I think they really do need CMC back so that they can really get back into their groove, their offensive groove. But let's move on to the next game. We got Titans Colts, which is weird. It's a pick 'em, which means that people are picking the Colts to beat the Titans, who just came off two huge wins. Um, Personally, I'm gonna have to go with the Titans here. They look way better than the Colts. The Colts did just beat the Niners, which looked handsome at the end of the game. It looked like an easy win for them, but it really was close until the very end of the game. And Carson Wentz did not look great, especially in the first half. He had like three turnover worthy plays in one drive, and I think had it not been Monsoon, they probably would have gotten picked. But Titans, they look unstoppable, and I don't think that the Colts will be able to keep up with them. So yeah, give me Titans 27-21. Taking that Titans, pick them all day. What about you, Ray?
Yeah. So, I'll just mention about that drive. You said had it not been for the monsoon, it would have been 3 picks. Well, I think had it not been for the monsoon, there wouldn't be any turnovers at all with Carson Wentz. I think he played great. I think he's played great this season. I want to say he's 11 touchdowns to only one interception. They had a tough schedule to start and some close losses, but they're starting to win now. The Colts are looking good. They're definitely looking good. They also should have beat the Ravens. They took the 25-3 lead. They definitely should have won that game. So they should be 4-3 right now. And I'm going with the wise guys there at Vegas. I definitely see why they're betting with them. And I'm also picking the Colts to win. I'm gonna say 32-28 at home, coming off a big win on the road. I say they upset the Titans, who are just coming off one of their biggest wins. And I think they might be complacent. I think the Colts are going to take this dub. Jonathan Taylor's playing out of his mind.
Well, I'm really glad you took the Colts because I just don't think they have a chance, man. I think that game was really a fluke. Like they they were doing that thing that like college quarterbacks do, where they just throw it downfield and pray for the DPI. Going into the fourth quarter, the Colts had earned more yards off of DPI than they had passing. It's like I don't know. It's that game was decided by the defensive backs and the Niners not being able to not cause a DPI on those long passes. So that's like a really college thing to do. So I don't think that's gonna work out against the Titans. So I mean, but we'll see. Uh, you've been high on the Colts and Wentz all season. But uh, I'm not. I'm excited for that game though. I'm glad we've disagreed on two
Yes,
already though.
sir.
That's good. Let's go into the next game. We got Dolphins at Bills. Dolphins just came off a close loss against the Falcons. Probably should have won that game. Tua's defense let him down once again. Where's this game going, Ray?
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's an outside chance Deshaun Watson, if he's on the team, starts. Which I don't think if he does get traded, he probably wouldn't start till week 9. Um, but regardless, I do think the Bills get the win here. I don't really see the Dolphins being competitive, unfortunately. Although Tua did look pretty good last week, but the Bills are just too good of a team, man. I'm way too high on them. I'm gonna win them 27-14.
Yeah, so you're not having the spreader now is 13 and a half. You don't think
I
they're
mean,
gonna
I'm
cover?
probably not touching the spread regardless, just because the Dolphins could make it close to the division game. Um, I would
Yeah.
probably take Bills spread though if I had to.
Yeah, I think Bills win pretty handsomely. I think that the 13 and a half spread is too large for this Dolphins team. Tua's been playing really well. His last two games, he has 300 yards passing in both of them, an 80% completion percentage in one, 70% in the other, and 6 touchdowns total. He's playing well. If his defense can just make a stop every now and then they would probably have won those last two games, and we'd be having a very different conversation. But I don't think that they beat the Bills even if their defense does play better. I think it's like a closer game though. I would definitely take Dolphins plus 13 and a half. I'm going to call like 27-17, 27-20, something like that. But let's move on into the number 1 seed in the AFC, the Bengals at the Jets. You're the Bengals, man. Where's this game going?
Hey, I love the Bengals, man. Bet on them last week. Probably should have predicted the win, to be honest. They're such a high-powered offense. They're a fun defense to watch too, with Jesse Bates there at the helm at free safety. Yeah, I mean, I got to go with the Bengals here. There's not much to say against the Jets. Who's gonna have, I don't know, Joe Flacco, I guess, starting, which whatever that is.
They
I've got
announced Mike
Bengals.
White starting.
Oh, it's
The,
Mike White, not Joe Flacco.
yeah, Mike White. They announced him as the starter for Sunday.
So why'd they trade for Joe Flacco?
I don't know, but just today I saw a tweet they announced him as the starter. So
Oh wow. Okay, wow. I mean, regardless, I think the Bengals crush them. I got 38-13 winning for the Bengals.
yeah, I'm with you. I got 35-10. Not much to say. I love that Bengals minus 10 and a half line.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Wow.
They're on a tear, number 1 seed in the AFC. Jets are bad. Bengals D is real. Yeah, like you said, not much more to say about that.
Mm,
Let's move on. Steelers Browns. No Baker
mm.
Mayfield. Um, he didn't practice Monday. He's not rolled out yet. But the Browns will have Nick Chubb back. Jarvis Landry's trending up. So I think this team will, be similar to what they were last week. And I think the Steelers are probably just as bad as the Broncos, maybe a little bit better. But they do have Nick Chubb, who is a difference maker on that offense. Spread is 3.5. I think that the Browns will cover that, but I probably won't touch this game just because it's a pretty volatile game with a lot of injuries. Uh,
Yeah, for sure.
Give me 2014 Browns. What do you think?
I like that. That's definitely could happen. I'm definitely like Steelers plus 3.5 for sure. This is gonna be like a low scoring defensive battle. So anytime like that, I usually take the underdog there if it's a 3.5 spread. Um, and not only will I take the spread, I think I'll go with Steelers money line as well. I think the Steelers are coming off a big home win against the Seahawks there in a tough game. No Baker, no Kareem Hunt. A lot of other injuries there for the Browns. They do get Nick Chubb back, like you say, but I don't know how to say it, man. I think the Steelers are gonna get this dub, dude. I see this as a grinded out kind of weird game. Maybe some weather involved. I think Steelers win this one 16-13. I'm gonna go with the upset. I think they're on the upswing, and I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh getting the dub here.
Interesting. Well, wow. That's another game we disagree on. I like it. I got to catch up one way or another. So hopefully this week everything goes in my favor.
There you
Uh,
go.
Got another one, man. Eagles at the Lions. Another little meat show. Could this be the Lions' first win? What do you think, Ray?
Yeah, I mean, I thought about this too, right? I mean, they really could. They've been playing really competitive. I mean, what are they? 0-6, 0-7 now, something like that. And
Yeah.
they're definitely like I think everyone will say that they've been competitive in every game. They should have beaten the Ravens. I mean, goodness. They freaking, they easily could have beaten the Rams last week. They did everything in their power to could. Two
Yeah.
fake punts and an onside kick. Like, wow. And they were all successful. They
Yep.
still lost by 9, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's tough for me to pick the Lions in this spot. I don't think the Eagles right now, they look decent against the Raiders, who I think are really good right now. Raiders are
Mm,
playing well, and the Eagles look decent against them
they
at
looked bad.
times.
They looked bad.
I guess. I don't know.
They had a little comeback in the fourth. like the
Yeah,
Eagles did.
I guess that's what I should say. Like
But
they
that's
ended
all
the
they
game with
do.
some.
They just get garbage time points and
I don't
make
know.
it look like less of a
I can't
beatdown.
predict the lines. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I can't do it. I'm gonna
yeah.
go Eagles win this one 27-21. What's the line here? Let me
It's three and a
look.
half.
3.5. Frick, bro. I'd probably go Eagles minus 3.5 here, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna stay away from this one. I don't like it. That this Eagles team looks bad, man. They just look lost. They look
No, I definitely think Nick
sloppy,
Sirianni's a moron.
and they
No,
also
I'm
don't have
sorry,
Miles
but
Sanders. Miles Sanders is out for the
I
week.
think he's questionable.
Um, y-
We'll
I don't
see.
know. I don't. I saw a tweet that said he's trending down, like he's not gonna play.
Gotcha.
So he's not declared out, but they're pretty sure he's out. Like Kenneth Gainwell's getting all the work at practice. And this team just I think it could be the Lions' first win, but I can't call it that. You know what I mean? I'm with you on like I can't.
Right.
Like it's the Lions, man. If the Eagles lose this game, which I would love, like, it would be a shock. I'm not gonna pick the upset. Even though I think it could definitely happen. I think Deandre Swift could have a monster game and completely decimate this team. I would love for Jared Goff to get his first win against that trash organization in the Eagles. I'm going to call it 24-21 Eagles and stay away from betting this game and just hope the Eagles lose. Let's move on to God, I feel like every week we're just picking where it's just Texans versus some powerhouse. Rams and Texans. Oh man. Where's this game going, right?
Man, dude, the Texans are in freaking the pits of football hell right now, dude. They're being punished for well, they're being punished for Bill O'Brien is what they're being punished for. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say, dude. There's nothing to say really. Like they're gonna get blown out, bro. I'm sorry. I've got Rams winning 37-14. I bet on Texans plus 19.5 against the Cardinals, and they lost. They lost 31-5, which that score has never happened. Freaking scoregami. Never happened in NFL history.
Yeah.
And that's the last time. I'm honestly surprised. Yeah, it's minus 14.5 right now.
I think
So
Tyrod Taylor's back, so that's why.
Oh, really?
I believe so.
Oh, interesting. Well, that's why it's 14.5.
Yeah.
Okay, well, in terms of betting, I don't know. Rams are going to win this game, but the Texans might actually be better now because they look good week 1 against the Jags with
Yeah.
Tyrod Taylor. So, no, they might be decent. I mean, at least, not complete bottom of the barrel. We'll see, but I definitely think the Rams win this one. I'll still say 37-14 though.
Yeah, I mean Rams are gonna win for sure. I'm calling 35-14, pretty close there. Um However, I think if Tyrod Taylor plays, there was some like I saw tweets in Texans Twitter like people debating if Tyrod Taylor should play or Davis Mills. And I think
Those are
as long
close.
as Tyrod Taylor plays, I think they keep this game closer than 14.5, which is the spread right now. So I would take probably Texans 14.5, but this is probably a game I'll stay away from just because it's not a good game to bet. There's no reason to bet a game like that. What I did last week with the Rams was the Lions came out and they took a 10-0 lead, and I put $50 on the Rams at -7 when the Lions took that lead, and
Wow.
I'm probably gonna hope that happens again and
What
try
were
and
the odds there?
oh it was like plus or -110 for Rams -7.
That's still so funny. It was minus 110.
Yeah, no, it's because they were down 10 in the first quarter, so that's just how the odds were working at that time. Yeah,
I
line
know. I'm
betting's really
saying it's,
good.
yeah.
I don't remember the it might have been like -117, -120, something like that, but
I'm just saying, like, I thought that just shows you, like, how good people think the Rams are and how bad people think the Lions are. For them to give you still, like, worse odds. You know what I'm saying? Like, not in the
yeah.
pluses.
Yeah,
That's
it was
funny.
they were -7 and when they were down 10-0 in the first. But I knew they'd win. I took it. It was actually pretty close. It was down to the wire. But I think I'm gonna do the same thing for this one. I'm gonna hope Texans go out and score a opening drive touchdown, and then I'll bet on the Rams. Then if they're like -8 or something. But let's move on. Got Niners at Bears. Two organizations that are not living up to their potential this year. What do you think this game is going, right?
Niners, Bears, man. I mean, Bears really need a dub if they want to stay competitive. But guess what? So do the freaking Niners, dude. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is tough. I think line's 3.5. I'm not gonna lie. I think Kyle Shanahan is not happy right now. I think he's not happy with people are slandering him. I kind of like Niners minus 3.5 here. I think the Niners get the dub. I don't think it'll be like. I think it might be competitive, kind of like a grinded out defensive type game. But I think Niners get like the important touchdown and win it 24-17 over the Bears.
Yeah, I like it. We should talk about that Niners Colts game. I mean, why did they not play Trey Lance in a monsoon like that where they're just gonna run the ball the whole time?
He was ruled out.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, with an injury.
Oh, okay, that makes sense then. I didn't know that. Okay, well that makes more sense. I didn't see any tweets about that. But yeah, I think the Bears need a win here. I think Matt Nagy probably knows his job is on the line. I mean, the Bears are averaging 14 points per game. They're 30th in the league in scoring. Niners are averaging 19 points a game. They're like 19th in the league. So, these teams are really high-powered offenses, but they've also both had, pretty hard schedules. The Bears have had a little harder of a schedule, but they just don't look promising. I think this game could go either way, but I'm gonna take the Niners for now. 2017. Probably not gonna bet on it. I just don't like it. I don't like the game. I really don't know where it's gonna go. Justin Fields did say today that he's feeling an explosive week for the offense this week. So
Oh, they're about to score 13. Watch out.
they're gonna score double their average and get 28, 4 touchdowns this week.
Oh no.
Yeah, let's move on to another game. Patriots at Chargers. Last time the Patriots played the Chargers, led by Justin Herbert, the Patriots won 45-0.
Led by Cam Newton, by the way.
Yes, sir. And Mac Jones has looked really good these last few weeks. The Patriots offense is really coming into fruition. The spread's 5.5, and I think the Patriots cover that plus 5.5. The first 4 weeks, the Patriots averaged 17 points a game, and in the last 3 games, they're averaging 36 points a game. So I think that they're really making connections and figuring things out and figuring out how to score and use these players. And yeah, I think it's gonna be a close game. I'm taking the Chargers, however. I think it's gonna be very close though. I'm calling 27-24 Chargers. But
Yeah. So, can you hear me?
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So, I definitely, yeah. I mean, Patriots had Cam Newton last time. I don't think it makes a difference. I mean, I think Max just is fine. Same Cam Newton, by the way, the Panthers should be signing, but I digress. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a different Chargers team, man. This team is on a roll. And they're mad because they just got blown out by the Ravens, which I still don't know how that happened. I don't know how you lose by 28 to the Ravens, but anyway. I've got Chargers winning this one 30-21. I just don't think the Patriots will be able to keep up with the Chargers' firepower. Is how I see it going down.
Yeah, the Chargers defense just isn't great, and I think Bill Belichick's really figured out how to score with this offense. I think he's figured out how to drive down the field. I mean, Bill Belichick's one of the greatest coaches of all time. I think he's gonna be able to score on any team that gets put up against, or at least keep the games close.
Yeah.
Um, you know, let me let me look. I'm trying to see if the Patriots have lost by more than 10 this year. Um, they kept it close with the Cowboys. Oh, they did get blown up by the Saints in week 3. So yeah, yeah. I mean, the Chargers could cover spread, but
So what's the spread?
it's 5.5. I like the Patriots
Yeah, I
covering
do
that.
too. Yeah, I do too.
Let's move on. We got the Jags at the Seahawks with Geno Smith versus Trevor Lawrence. Where do you think this game is going, right?
Dude, I don't know how else to say it, man. The Seahawks are a bad team with elite receivers and a Hall of Fame quarterback who is currently sidelined. They're
Yeah.
other than that, they're a horrible team. And they're exposing themselves with Geno Smith at quarterback, who's, whatever. But they're just not a good team. They're not well coached. Their play calling isn't good. And right now I think the Jags are the better team. I'm just gonna say it. I think they're the better team right now with Geno Smith as a quarterback.
Yeah.
I love Jaguars +3. I know it's in Seattle. I just like Jaguars +3, man. I think they got the better. I think they have the better roster right now. I'm 100% serious. I think they have the better roster right now.
Think they win?
Um, I do think they win. I'm gonna say last second field goal. Jags win 26-23. Let's make it happen.
Wow, that is bold, Raymond.
Hey
That's
man,
bold, man.
I know it is, but I don't know what they looked horrible against the Saints. They looked
Yeah,
horrible
but
against the Steelers too.
you can say they looked horrible, but both those games were really close. They lost both those games by a field goal. One of them in
Yeah.
overtime.
Yeah, because the freaking Steelers and Saints. I mean, no. I'm 100%. Jaguars have a better offense than Steelers and the Saints. 100%. For me, it's undebatable.
Yeah, I don't know. I like James
I,
Robinson this week. I think the Seahawks defense is pretty weak. Their defense is really bad. Um, I just think they have to use Geno better. I think they have to. I think Pete Carroll needs to figure out what he's doing because he hasn't been coaching this
he
team
has no
great.
idea what he's doing. He hadn't. Pete Carroll's had no idea what he's doing for years. Masking how horrible of a coach he is.
Yeah, I saw Mina Kimes say something about how he needs to that firing Pete Carroll is not off the table at this point because his coaching is really getting exposed without Russell Wilson. And yeah, I think he really needs to figure this out, and they need to come in this game and learn how to use DK and lock it and have longer drives rather than trying to send him downfield. Um, and that's their issue, I think. I also think that the running back injuries doesn't help them either, because especially considering Pete Carroll's such a run first coach.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree. But
I
also, this isn't a run first league.
yeah,
He
it's
needs to
not
adapt better.
100%. You're right. I agree. I agree. Pete Carroll's worse. I just think the Jags are a worse team. Um, I mean, they may have the better quarterback. But I just that they like if I put them in their scenario, like in their shoes, like they just squeaked by the Dolphins, who aren't great. They lost to the Texans week 1. They lost to the Broncos. Cardinals Bengals, they actually kept it close with the Bengals. I forgot about that. But Titans, they got destroyed. I just don't think this team's gonna be able to keep up, even with Geno Smith at quarterback. It's not like they have a defense that's gonna shut them down like the Saints do. Uh or the Steelers. Mind you, I think the Seahawks are actually able to score this game. They're playing a bad defense rather than a top 10 defense in both their last 2 matchups. Uh, and I think they win this game 27-21, calling it Seahawks.
There you
But I do agree with most of your points. But just that I guess you're just higher on the Jags than I am. Let's move on
I'm just really
to
low on the Seahawks.
yeah. Let's move on to the second NFC South matchup of the week. We got Bucks at Saints. Where's this game going, right?
I mean, I don't think the Saints are a good team. I think they're 4-2 and they're not a good team. They're just straight up not a good team.
I agree.
I just don't think they're a good team. I think Bucks win 38-24, and I have no reason to believe that Jameis Winston is going to outduel Tom Brady. There's no
No,
you
he
can't
is
convince
not.
me. You know
I
what I'm
mean, it is
saying?
a Jameis revenge game, but fun fact: Jameis Winston is 5-25 against teams with a winning record in his career.
But nah, it's worse than Kirk Cousins somehow.
It is worse than Kirk Cousins, barely.
Barely.
Percentage wise,
Which
barely.
we'll go into that in a bit.
Oh, believe me, we will. This Bucks team is on fire, man. They're unstoppable. They were getting Gronk back. He's trending upwards this week. If they get AB back and Gronk back, there is not a chance the Saints win. Like, those are his 2 favorite weapons on this team, and he didn't even have them last week, and they won 38-3. Like,
Right.
this Bucks team is really like getting back into their groove, man.
They're
Beginning of the
playing like
season,
the best team in the league right now.
if they played the Rams again right now, they beat the Rams 100%.
I agree. I agree with
100%.
that. I agree with that.
They beat them by 2 touchdowns, I would say. Um, but yeah, I think -5 Bucks is free cash. I'm slamming that all day long. Uh, yeah, not much else to say. The Saints team, I think that they had a pretty easy schedule. That's the only reason they're 4-2. Um, but yeah, when are they getting Michael Thomas back? Is it week 8 or week 9?
Oh, it's a while. They haven't made any indication he's coming back anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't know. Um, yeah, well, I guess we'll see, man. Uh, I would hate if the Saints won that game, honestly. That would really be a downer. But let's move on. Got a little meat show in the Mile High City, where Savannah actually is right now. Washington football team at the Broncos. Where's this game going, right?
Dude, yeah, I mean the Broncos exposed themselves as frauds pretty much. I mean, the Broncos and the Panthers are the exact same team right now. Freaking they both were 3-0 and now they're 3-4. I mean, the Washington football team, we talked about them exposing themselves. But I'm not gonna lie, right now I probably would take Taylor Heineke over Teddy Bridgewater. I'm not even kidding. So I think Washington has the better weapons right now. I mean, Denver has a better defense. I don't know. Either team could win this, bro. I'm gonna say Washington wins this 27-20. But this is a
Uh,
weird one, dude. What's the line? Um,
Broncos -3.
Dude, I don't know, man. I want to say Washington +3, but this one could go either way, bro. This is gonna be a weird freaking game, dude. But the Broncos, dude, freaking, oh my word, they could not stop checking the ball down against the Browns. They looked so bad. They should have pounded that Browns team, bro. Like, yeah, the Broncos are just frauds, bro. I'm so sorry. I have a bunch of friends who are Broncos. My bad to any Broncos fans out there, man. I'm slandering, but I gotta go with the WFT right now.
That is music to my ears. Let's go. That should be a free one for me. There is no way the Broncos lose this game. They have a much
You
better
would hope not.
defense. They have a much better defense. Their offense works way better. The Washington football team has lost to the Falcons, the Saints. They look awful, dude. They literally, or sorry, they didn't lose the Falcons. I just completely lied. They actually beat the Falcons in the and by that, who was it? Whatever. They beat the Falcons in like a last second crazy play. But man, this Washington football team is bad. And I think that this is the bounce back game for the Broncos, and they win this game pretty handsomely. I mean, I think the Washington football team is going to be 2-6, along with the Eagles and the Giants. Yeah, I don't see it a W for them. I don't. I think this Broncos team is a lot better than them. But yeah, I'm gonna call it 24-10 Broncos. I don't think the
Oh
football team's
wow.
gonna move this ball
Oh,
very
you're
well.
just disrespecting the dub.
I'm not. I mean, they just put up 10
Crazy.
against the Packers. They put up 13 against the Chiefs. They're just not scoring the ball the past few weeks. They
You're
aren't.
not wrong. You're not
And
wrong.
it's not like they're good defenses. The Packers are ranked 19th in points per game. The Chiefs are ranked 31 or 32. They're like that's how much they're two bad defenses, or like Packers are just below average, but the Chiefs are inarguably probably the worst defense in the NFL, and they put up 13 points. So no faith in this football team, literally, and the Washington football team. But yeah, Broncos -3 all day long. Love that bet. Now let's move in to real football. Sunday night football. The Dallas Cowboys are going to play against the Minnesota Vikings. This game is going to be easy for my boy Randy Prescott. We're winning this game 38-24. Cowboys are 5-1 and one of the hottest teams in the NFL, playing the Vikings, who barely squeaked past the Panthers, who just barely squeaked past the Lions, and then put only 7 points up against the Browns, led by their QB, Kirk Cousins, who is 8-39 against teams who have a winning record. Cowboys have covered every single spread this season. They're the only team that is undefeated against the spread, and they are going to cover -2. What do you think, Ray?
Yeah, I got him at 1.5 over here. I don't know how it's 1.5, to be honest. I'm still surprised. I thought I'd be getting more because I plan on pounding. Man, I can't even say it, bro. It makes me want to see sick to say it.
Do it.
All right, listen.
Say it.
I have I don't do it as often, right? I don't do rate plays as often, right? This is coming straight from the heart, man. I have a crazy feeling that the Vikings are about to go absolutely ballistic on Sunday Night Football at home at M&T Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and come out of there with a win, 34-31 over the Dallas Cowboys.
I need you to tweet that.
I will tweet it.
I need the social media.
It will be in writing
evidence
for in stone as long as we live.
Dude.
I don't know what it is, but I have that feeling they're gonna get up, and I ride with.
So that's your first Ray play of the season. I haven't
It
heard
is my
that.
first Ray play of the season. I really saved it
heard
because
that.
I don't know what it is. I think the Vikings get the dub.
I mean, the Cowboys are averaging the most points per game in the league
I understand
right now.
all that. I understand everything you said.
So what's their win condition? Are they going to outscore the Cowboys?
I
Is their
think
defense
Dalvin
going to
goes
hold them?
absolutely crazy. I think Dalvin goes crazy.
Dalvin's not having a great year. He's not. He's just not.
Well, he's been injured a bunch.
Yeah, but he still played, what, 4 games? 3.5?
Yeah, I mean, he's doing all right.
4.5 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns. I mean, I don't know. That's I don't know.
Hey man, it's locked in.
Maybe he does. I mean, I think you just want the Vikings to win because Dalvin Cook just put up like 150 yards on your team.
No, I genuinely have a feeling the Vikings are gonna win.
Ugh.
I don't know how to say it. I genuinely think the Vikings are gonna win.
Well, I think that's the 5th game we've disagreed on this week, so I am
love it.
happy. I think all 5 are gonna go my way, and I'm sure you think the absolute same.
Let's
Wow,
get
I
it.
love that. I'm so glad you just picked against my Cowboys. Dude, let me just tell you right now, if the Cowboys lose on Sunday night, do not text me. I will be very upset, and no, do not text me, do not tweet me, nobody talk to me for 3 to 4 days. That's all I'm saying.
Understood.
Because if
Understood.
they lose to this Vikings team, I will be heartbroken. But you know what? It's the Cowboys, so they probably will. Let's move on. Giants at Chiefs in Monday Night Football. Arrowhead Stadium. The Giants are coming in after just pounding the Panthers 25 or 26-3. Unbelievable game here. They were coming off a huge win, huge ego boost. Where's this game going, Ray?
Um. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Panthers are what the Panthers are. So I don't. That doesn't make me think of the Giants any better. I don't care if Saquon plays. I don't care if Sterling Shepard and Kenny Galladay. I don't think the Giants. Although I will say, Giants +10 is interesting. Giants +10 definitely is interesting, but it's in Arrowhead, a Monday night game. It's gonna be tough. That's gonna be a tough place to win. I definitely think the Chiefs get the dub. I'm gonna say around 31-21, but I definitely do not hate Giants +10 here. If you can get 10.5, that'd be amazing. But yeah, I definitely think Chiefs get the dub. Don't really think it'll be overly competitive. Kind of sucks we get this game, but who knows? Maybe the Giants will turn up.
Um, yeah, I doubt it's competitive. It shouldn't. If it is competitive, then it's just full on
Then
panic
it
mode for
really
Chiefs
is panic
fans.
time for the Chiefs.
No,
Yeah.
they need to sell the franchise at that point because they're wasting Patrick Mahomes somehow. I think, first of all, saying that it makes it sound like I'm taking blame from him. I'm not. He has not been playing well this season. That's evident. But he's also gotten very unlucky, and for that reason, I think this is gonna be a bounce back game for the Chiefs. They've had a lot of turnovers that are just flat out unlucky, and it's a volatile stat the way that they're getting these turnovers. It's not something that's gonna be consistent through the whole season. Like they're probably in the second half of the season gonna have like a 45 50% decrease in turnovers just because of how unlucky their actual turnovers have been so far. So I'm saying that Mahomes is gonna come out Monday Night Football. He's got to silence the haters. He's got to put up a 40 bomb on this team. Like that, the way I see it is the Chiefs beat this team like 41-17, 41-20, or it's not a good enough win for
I
them.
mean, he better be TikTok dancing all over the freaking Giants. Like that's all
No,
I gotta
he
say.
needs to ban his brother from the stadium.
Nah,
Dude.
nah, he needs to pull an Aaron Rodgers, bro. Just separate from his family completely,
Oh my
bro.
gosh, man. Like, listen, I've always disliked like his brother and his
And his
wife.
freaking wife, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And before this season, my dad really didn't comment on it much, but now I think he's full on like they just need to shut up, like, cause he
Well,
sees his,
they're literally just a distraction at this point.
yeah, my dad sees like the mom's tweets, even his mom's tweets, his girlfriend's tweets. They're just ridiculous. They need to stop. No family. You're not supposed to do that. And
It's
I think
somehow worse than like Aisha Curry.
okay, yeah, that she had one tweet that was horrible, of
Yeah.
calling it rigged, but
No, that
yeah,
was funny.
they just need to shut up, man. Like it's just it looks bad for him, and it probably makes him play worse because it's just another mental thing. Like it's not good. Like if let's say Savannah and my brother are being just killed on social media, that would stress me out. It adds unneeded stress to his life, and they need to stop because I think it's just he's having a bad year. He's in a slump. That is the best. Like he's just in a slump, and a bad year for him. He's still a top 5 quarterback, but
Right.
he's in a slump and he needs distractions to go away. He needs to for like when Brady has Giselle take the kids and they go away for like a week. He needs that. He needs to his brother and wife and mom to be taken away for like a week. Let him reset his mental. Come out, drop 50 on the Giants, and then they win out the rest of the season. Go to the Super Bowl with 4 losses. That's what they need to do. But yeah, I like Chiefs -10. Kind of went on a tirade right there. But I love Mahomes. He's my favorite player in the NFL. Probably will be my favorite player of all time. Um, so I'm really hoping they come out and prove that he's not like this bum that Twitter is calling him and that's TikTok is calling him. Like it's unbelievable how hot and cold NFL fans are. But let's
He
move on to
definitely
our.
is having. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead. What were you saying?
I was just gonna say he definitely is having like an off year for sure.
Yeah, but I mean it happens. Like think about
Right.
Aaron Rodgers in 2019, man. He was
No,
awful.
yeah.
Like he was
No, yeah, no, and
genuinely
it's not an
bad.
indictment on Mahomes for sure. Yeah, no. Everyone has off years. Brady has to have off years. It's like
Yeah.
everyone's had off years. It's okay.
It's like he's held to a different standard because of his first few years, and I just think it's not like it sounds like childish to be like it's not fair, but it's not. I mean, I'm guilty. In 2019, I thought Aaron Rodgers was done because of how bad he was playing, but then he came back 2020, won an MVP, and he's playing phenomenally this year as well.
Right.
Um, but you have to acknowledge those things. And I think in the future, if a QB is having a slump year, especially when they're young still, you have to give them that like credit. You can't just say that the contract was a waste or that he's an overrated talent because he broke. You can't come to the NFL and break 20 different records in your first 3 years and be overrated. You're properly rated if you're breaking records that nobody else like that legends have set in the NFL. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So yeah, let's end this tirade. Enough Mahomes brown nosing for now. Let's go into our last segment, the fantasy locks of the week. Who is your number one fantasy lock of the week, Raymond?
All right, yeah, the guy I wanna really look at. He's 7,900 on FanDuel, which is like way too cheap for what he's been doing. Is Deandre Swift of the Lions here. I think this should be a
Love it.
close game. Yeah, he's gonna get runs. He's gonna get touches. I mean, he's got Jamal Williams there, but he's clearly the A back to Jamal Williams' B back. So I love Deandre Swift here against the Eagles, which is like already like a horrible defense.
Yeah, 29th ranked
Freaking
rushing defense.
right, yeah. Raiders freaking ran with Jacobs and Kenyon Drake all over him. So I definitely love DeAndre Swift this week. He's cheap, relatively cheap on FanDuel, and yeah, I think he's an awesome play.
Yeah, I played Josh Jacobs last week because of how bad this Eagles off or defense is. He had like 15 in the first quarter and a half, and then he gets injured, and his backup got like 20. So I literally could have gone nuclear. Instead, I missed cash by like 5. So I'm kind of hurt about that, but yeah, I love the DeAndre Swift pick. I think he's a great pick. I think he's a great pick every week. I think that his role in the Detroit Lions is gonna be he's gonna get like 15 plus points every single week.
For sure.
But the issue with FanDuel and DraftKings is that he's now rising in price because he's getting so consistently, like so many points consistently. Like, let's see, he's at 30 points last week, 17, 22, 23, 24. Like, he just is having
Right.
consistently good games. So he's going to keep rising in price. And eventually, I don't think it'll be worth it. But he's not there yet. So I really do like that pick a lot. I'll move on to my first lock of the week. Similar to you, it is a running back. And similar to what you were saying earlier about Jacksonville, James Robinson. I think he destroys the Seattle defense and runs all over them. Probably 2 touchdowns. He's more expensive on FanDuel, but you play FanDuel, I play DraftKings. He's 8.2 on FanDuel, I believe. He's 6.6 on DraftKings, which
Wow.
is like a middle of the pack running back. Like he's like
Yeah.
cheaper than like just a lot of running backs. Let me just try and find one real quick to put that he's cheaper than like he's the same price as like Fournette and Henderson. Like
Wow.
so
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm really high on him this week. He's averaging 22 and a half fantasy points per game in his last 4 games. So it turns out that Urban Meyer figured out that, oh, this guy's actually good. We should use him. It took him a few weeks, but it took him into week 4, or no, sorry, week 3. But he's realized, oh wow, James Robinson's good. There's a reason he did crazy things last year.
Yeah.
Seattle got the 30th ranked defense. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I like it. I like James Robinson a lot. He gets the touches, he gets the carries, he gets the targets, man. I mean, and like I said, I think the Jags Seahawks will be a good game. I think the Jags will definitely be in it the whole game, so they'll be definitely feeding him the rock. Definitely like him to get a touchdown or two this week, and I think it's a fine play.
Yeah, definitely. I'm taking all of his overs. All of his overs. I'm rush attempts,
There
rush
you go.
yards, everything,
Okay.
man. What's your next lock of the week?
Yeah, so my next lock of the week would have to be Calvin Ridley, man. He's playing the Panthers, which yeah, it looks like the Panthers might have Stephon Gilmore, but dude, Julio. Okay, so Matt Ryan always torches the Panthers. He always torches us. Like
Yep.
even if they lose, the Falcons lose. Like he always torches us. And no Julio Jones. Kyle Pitts should have a good game, but man, I mean Calvin Ridley's really cheap on FanDuel right now. I think he's 7K, I believe. Man, I mean he's in
Wow.
a great
Yeah,
spot.
that's cheap.
Yeah. No, he's an absolute spot. He's an absolutely fire spot. Just for he gets double digit targets, man. You said earlier he was one of seven players in the NFL who get double digit targets per week or averaging double digit targets.
Yep.
He had 10 targets last week. and I love what he's. I love him. I love him this week. I think he's gonna have an awesome week. I think he's gonna go off. And regardless, I think the Panthers win close, but I could definitely see him getting like a 7 catches, 118 yards, and a touchdown. I just think he's a great lock for an outstanding week.
I love that you just picked a player against your own team. That's funny. That's some good
That's
content.
how down bad I am as a Panthers fan right now, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. He's even cheap on DK. He's 6.6K, same price as James Robinson. I'll probably look at him on DraftKings. He's really cheap though. There's a lot of good receivers in that 6 to 7K range. You got like Keenan Allen, Calvin Ridley, Deontay Johnson, DK, AJ Brown. So it's really hard in that range on
Yeah.
DK, and that'll lead me into the final fantasy lock of the week for us. Cortland Sutton. He is playing a very bad secondary in the Washington football team. He didn't have a lot of targets against Cleveland, but they also didn't have the ball much. Cleveland controlled the ball a lot. But he had 5 targets, 5 catches last week. But the weeks before that, he had 14 targets against the Raiders and 11 targets versus the Steelers.
Okay.
And I think that he's gonna have probably 10 targets again. I think he's a lock for 10 targets. And I think that he's gonna have a crazy game at a pretty cheap number. He's 7-1 on FanDuel, which is a little more
Hmm.
expensive, but he's only
Mm-hmm.
6.4 on DraftKings.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And the Broncos just lean on him. They lean on him, especially losing Jerry Jeudy. Since then, his role has just been so much bigger on this offense. And I think he's gonna have a crazy week with Teddy Bridgewater here in the Washington football team, or it's in the Miles City actually. Sorry, what do you think?
No, I like that. I think Washington football team has played so bad on defense. They've given up so many yards to like Devontae Adams and stuff. So I definitely don't hate Cortland Sutton. I'm obviously not a huge fan of the Broncos in general, but he definitely gets the target share, and Teddy should be throwing his way.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for the week. We went through our fantasy locks, went through the predictions, and we went through our takeaways from week 7. I'm really excited for this week 8. I'm super excited for next week. We're gonna be going over our NFL honor updates.
Yeah,
Gonna
I'm
be
hyped
giving
for
you guys
that.
our MVP, Offensive Player of the Year. Super excited that I love that type of stuff. Should be a really fun episode. So make sure you guys check that out next week. It'll be Wednesday or Thursday probably. But yeah, let's get right into this week, man. I'm so excited. I can't wait for this game tomorrow night. Thank you all so much for listening. Make sure to follow us on social media. It's Huddle Break on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And once again, thank you so much for taking a break from the huddle with us.